Welcome everybody to a new episode of Let's Talk Live. Here for you as always, Mert,
Cedric.
and of course we also have Ilian here. Last episode was a bit about the past of our study in our first year here in Leeuwarden, and today we're gonna look a bit into the current situation and also into the future.
Yep.
So to begin off with, right now we're looking into possibilities for minors and the different places we can go to, like for the exchange program or the Grand Tour. Do you have already an idea where you're gonna go to?
So first off, Mert is talking about our exchange which we carry out in our third year. And since we're right now in our second year, we still have to already sign up for different courses. And we have the opportunity to either go to do a real exchange by going to partner universities, and we also have the chance to go to Grand Tour, which is opportunity to go to separate places of the NH Oostenden University in different places around the world. They have places in Bangkok, Qatar, Bali, and also in South Africa, I believe. I think that's all, right?
Yeah, I'm not really sure about Grand Tour destinations, but yeah, like
And China, I believe, is the one as well now.
China as well.
Yeah, I think these are like the ones that we can have the ability to go to. But Mert and I are both considering an exchange, so we're gonna not go to the Grand Tour. We applied for different universities.
Yeah, so I decided to go for the exchange because I want to stay in Europe, and the offered places for the Grand Tour, like we mentioned, are pretty remote, and especially keeping the corona situation in mind, it might be difficult going to a faraway country and living there for, was it 4 or 5 months? I think
two modules. No, one. Yeah, two modules.
two modules,
So one
so
semester.
one
Yeah.
semester, exactly. I made the general decision to stay in Europe. That's why I'm going for the exchange program.
Yeah.
Just a little explanation about the minors and the exchange program, maybe. So the main study is creative business, which we're doing, but part of creative business is to do a minor education connected to creative business. This could be in the music management industry, this could be in the media production industry. So there are a lot of options actually.
Yeah.
And this makes it also quite difficult to just choose one, I would say.
Yeah, definitely. We have a lot of partner universities. So basically, what the coaches offer you is a list of universities that are partnered with you, and then you can go onto their website and find information about their exchange program and what way these exchange programs have in common with your bachelor. So you can't just pick anything out of the ordinary. So if you study creative business, as Mert said, you can't just say I want to do biochemics. It does not work. So you just pick something that is in your bachelor league, I would say. But again, it's not organized at all, which is a bit shitty, at least for me. It was really hard to, because you have to do everything on your own. In that case, it's just for the exchange. Like in my opinion, I don't really know how the Grand Tour stuff works. But
Yeah, so for the exchange, like Cedric said, we have to organize everything by our own, basically. However, the university provides us with a list of partner schools in different countries, so it's a suggestion. We don't necessarily have to pick one of that list. We can also research a whole different university, but keep in mind this is then again connected to more steps and more effort, so you have to contact the university by yourself, pretty much suggest that you want to do a minor, and if they accept it, then you have to contact Stanton again, and they have to agree to it as well. And so it's a long procedure, but maybe for some people it's worth doing it. If you find something really interesting which you really want to do, then yeah, go for it. So pretty much anything is possible, but yeah, it's self-organization basically.
the worst thing about that is just that if you actually find a university which where you want to go with a perfect minor for you, and you got the steps together that is going to actually be a partnership to your university, it's still not exactly sure that you're going to get into it. That's the worst part about it. You are not insured of getting that place because it's going to be enlisted into the whole list of what every student has the opportunity to go there, and if someone has better grades than you and wants to go there, and you have no chance of going there. which they said it's the fairest way, which I think it's the opposite actually.
Yeah.
It's just not the best way of giving students the chance to actually find something they actually want to go to, and then actually also putting the effort behind it of actually establishing this connection. Yeah, that's like the one I think the one of the worst things that I found out about the exchange program overall.
Yeah, but I think it's still a good option to expand just the study a little bit and get a
Definitely, overall, the whole minor thing with going somewhere is always pretty cool. It's
yeah.
definitely something worth mentioning, which is also one of the reasons why I actually chose creative business, or at least the creative business course here, since they gave us like the brochure that's given to you or that's stated to you for the whole bachelor. It already states that you have an internship in your fourth year, and also an exchange in your
Yeah.
third one.
So the internships are in the last year of the study, in fourth year. Depending on the time frame, we decide on when we're doing the minors, right? Because it's possible to do it in the first semester of third year or in the second
Yeah.
semester of third year. So depending on when exactly somebody goes on to do the minor, the internship is going to be pretty much immediately after that. So these two things could be combined. For example, people who maybe want to go to, I don't know, Spain or France or something, they could think about just connecting their internships with the new city they're doing their minor in. But yeah, the internships are pretty much the beginning of the end, so to
Yeah,
say.
definitely. Yeah.
It's the step into the professional world, start working at a corporation, doing some media production, some marketing, some management, depending on your minor again and your preferences. For the internships, there are even more possibilities, I would say.
Definitely, because I don't think you have like a certain you don't really get a list. I think NHSN just helps you to find something that you actually want to go to. It's not like they're just gonna give you a list with names and say like, yeah, these are the ones you could go to. But I think
Yeah.
it's just a way. I think it's just way easier to find to find people for like actually finding a place for internship
Yeah, well,
rather than an exchange.
I don't think that the university is going to give us a list of companies or something for internships, since there are like a billion media companies like worldwide, and it doesn't matter where you do your internship. That's the thing. You
Yeah,
could
well, again, but you just have to get accepted to an internship, and not every media thing wants an intern.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, if you do a little research and present yourself well, it should be possible to get an internship. I mean, the media industry is big and it has many different areas, and
Yeah.
so there is something for everybody, I believe. But that's again connected to a lot of effort, a lot of organization. It's a preparation to the real world, so to say, like the professional world. The school is gonna help us less with internships. I assume, it's not for sure, I don't know. But I think it's gonna be really hard for them to come up with a list of companies, since
Well, I think they just have like probably some companies where a lot of creative business students have gone to. I believe could be that like most of the Dutch people, at least, that there might be like some Dutch companies which are near or like in the surrounding of Leeuwarden, just that some people actually have the chance to go there without looking at cost wise, because I don't think everyone was willing to like say like, okay, I found this company which is in Spain or in I don't know, somewhere in Italy or something. So some people might just say like, yeah, I just want to stay like in the surrounding area. So I think there are like some companies that actually know that internships are needed from NHSN, and I
Yeah.
think that's why you just have, if you actually don't really find someone in the end, they can always hook you up basically,
Yeah,
hook you up with a
yeah.
university if you really can't find anything in
Yeah, I
your
think
deadline too.
I think, like you say, if you really end up not finding anything, then the school is gonna try to help you. But yeah, they are not gonna offer help to everybody from the beginning.
I think you just also have to just be in contact with your coaches and try to, and maybe your mentor as well.
Yeah.
So I think these are actually people that are willing to help you as well. You just have to take a first step and talk to them, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Not about the internships now, but when I talked to my PPD mentor a couple of weeks ago, we were also talking about the minors, and he actually sent me a website where you can look up minors. It's like a search engine.
Minor research engine,
Basically a minor research engine. Yeah, you can type in like job descriptions or also just a media branch. You can, for example, just type in music or just type in gaming, and then you get all the minors that are available. I think just in the Netherlands, but it's still a beginning, so it could be an idea. It could be it could be an inspiration exactly for the names. For example, for people who are saying, yeah, I would like to do something with TV productions, but I'm not quite sure which direction. So you can just type in TV production, and it's going to give you a whole list of universities and minors connected to that.
Yeah.
So yeah, being in touch with the coach is definitely a good thing to do, especially for the minors and the internship.
Yeah. So Mer, what picks did you take?
I haven't finalized my decision yet. As I said, I'm gonna stay in Europe, and I would like to also stay close to Germany because of my family. But still, I think I'm gonna apply for Austria and maybe Spain or Belgium, but that's not really definite yet. But then again, I also discovered this minor which I can do just here at Stanton and not move anywhere. Would be about music management, more the business side of it, which is also really interesting for me. So right now it's a really tough decision to make if I want to go somewhere else, get the experience in a different country, or just stay here, go a bit the easy way of not having the troubles with moving and finding a new place and everything. I know the city already, so far it would be easy just to stay here and do the music management minor, which is really interesting in my opinion.
That makes sense. Well, yeah. Another thing that is important to state is that when you go on an exchange, you definitely pay more than you do for if you go on Grand Tour. Since Grand Tour offers courses at other NHL Stanton spots around the world, you get a place for yourself and you don't have to pay for it. So it's like a university dorm kind of, I think.
Yeah.
So you don't have to pay for that. If you go on an exchange, that's different. So you have to actually find somewhere where you want to live. So that's like extra payment you have to do. So overall, I would say that going on the Grand Tour is definitely. If you want to see more, I would say if you want to see more for less money, you can probably go there. But again, if you feel like your minor is more important than the where you are going at, because a lot of people just say, okay, I want to go here because I always wanted to go there. Let's say, I don't know, Japan or whatever, and then of course it's not a smart idea, but some people still do it. So.
Yeah, of course some people do it, and everybody has to do the decision on their own. But I think, especially as a professional in the media industry, we are pretty flexible where we work and what we do. So traveling to new countries could, in my opinion, definitely be a thing I can do later in my life. So I'm just gonna focus on my study and do a minor, which is really interesting for me.
Same. So I'm also considering going to Austria as well, but my first choice I picked Denmark, and my third choice is Oslo, and I'm also keeping fourth choice just in case if I don't get into the other three I wanted to go to, and then it would probably be Hong Kong.
Okay. Why Hong Kong?
Well, I looked at the minor there and it actually looked pretty interesting. And since I've lived in China for a while, but I never really had the opportunity to go to Hong Kong, I was actually pretty curious of maybe going there as well to see how that is. Even though I would love to work in the fashion industry after I'm done with my bachelor and maybe also add a master. And and then I would also probably go back to Asia, not specifically Hong Kong, but maybe Japan or South Korea. But Hong Kong, I would say is one of the upcoming cities where you have a lot of newcomers and a lot of creativity, which still is I think very potent to actually giving you even more ideas and even more impact on how you actually want to change the world maybe or something like that. So I think it would give me an opportunity to broaden my horizon or broaden my spectrum of creativity and also like overall international stuff. Yeah, so that's why I also thought of like going there as well.
Yeah.
But again, it's my fourth choice, so if I get into one of the other ones, it's still gonna be fine then.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
speaking about going somewhere, it's been a couple of weeks now that we started offline education. Partly. How do you feel about going to university again after such a long time?
Yeah, it was weird to be honest. I haven't been in uni for so long. It just seemed weird of being there. Also,
Yeah.
just like the amount of people that aren't there is just like pretty. It always feels like it's like 6 p.m. That's like the time where like no one is there.
Yeah.
But right now it's like the classrooms are all empty. You hang around with like 5 people and you can't like really go into like bigger groups because it's just gonna seem weird.
Yeah.
So overall, I would say, of course, it's cool to be back at university, just like seeing friends again and just like sitting down with them and talking. Not doing that at home, but like meeting up at uni. I think that's like the best part of that uni reopened.
Yeah.
To be honest, yeah.
Well, I really appreciate the opportunity to have offline education again, since I'm not a person who's doing well with online education.
Yeah, it's weird sometimes.
Yeah, it can be weird, and it's definitely better to discuss some topics like personally. And I think we mentioned this already in the last episode, that it's just not the same. Even though with Microsoft Teams, which we're using for online meetings and stuff, or Zoom or whatever, it's just not the same. Compared to when you see them in person and you can discuss things maybe in more depth or in a different ways. For me, it has a higher value.
Yeah, definitely. Also, just the overall just like activity you have if you sit at home on a laptop and you discuss stuff, or if you're like in a room, sitting with people at a desk and actually talking about stuff. You can't just like sit there and then mute yourself and say nothing, because
Yeah.
it's just not gonna work if you're offline. So I think that's like a big factor, just because then also everyone is involved and not like you have these one or two people that have like an argument on like the
Yeah.
group chat. The rest of them are just silent. Maybe some of them don't even have their cameras on, do like other stuff while doing it.
Yeah.
So overall, I think that's the stuff that just gets on my nerves, and I think overall in the nerve of the team, and so the teamwork also doesn't function that as great as it would be
Yeah.
offline wise, I would say.
Yeah, definitely. And well, in the beginning of this year, I kind of made a bad experience with online education, since I had to stay in Germany for a couple weeks longer. Therefore, I couldn't be here to participate in the like first 2 or 3 atelier sessions, and it was somehow not really good organized with the online ateliers and the online meetings. So that meant that all the information I received was from my group members. So one of them each week went to an atelier session and pretty much gave us the information which they received from the coach. And I mean, the more people this information passes, the more stuff
the more
just
stuff's gonna
falls
add, or,
out.
or stuff is gonna fall out. Different
And
stuff's gonna
it's
get
getting
added, so-
confusing. Exactly. So especially after the beginning of the second module right now, I felt the difference of just having the offline ateliers, the physical meetings
Yeah.
and the discussions, like you said. I just realized the benefits of it and how the online education was organized so far. I think I'm not the only one who has got issues with how this thing is managed.
I think that, but like looking back at the first module that we had, so concepting for this year, I think that it was pretty bad, to be honest. But like looking
Yeah.
at the production module that we are in right now, I would definitely say that they upped their standards a bit at least.
Yeah.
They have like a general chat in Teams where you can put in questions and all the teachers can answer you. We have Q&A sessions scheduled, and we have one offline atelier.
Yeah.
Which is of course cool, but again, it's only one offline atelier. But due to the fact that we can go to university again, we can still meet up with the group and stuff. So it's not like we all have to like sit at home and do that stuff. And for me at least, our coach is separately going to the individual groups in our class,
Mm-hmm.
and then decides on a meeting every week. So you
Yeah.
can actually decide on the time and day
Yeah.
where you're gonna have a meeting with him, 45 minutes just with with your team of 5 or 6 people,
Yeah.
which I find is also very helpful if you just need a little bit of feedback and don't want to wait till Friday.
Yeah.
And just don't want to text him or do it like on a call, basically. So that's like a pretty good thing that I think they added instead of like what they had last time, where you just had like these big meetings with your coach where everyone was in, and then it's just like got hectic and stuff. So
Yeah. So just for the understanding, the first module in the second year was concepting. We had to come up with different ideas for media products. So we had to come up with ideas for pretty much any kind of media product, which means we had to come up with ideas for written media products, audiovisual productions like a student series or a travel show maybe,
a
or
podcast.
or an audio product like a podcast like this one. And now it's the second phase pretty much.
Yeah, so we had to basically sit down, brainstorm, find an interesting idea which fitted the platform we wanted to upload it on, which is Matters, which is a student platform. So we basically had to create a concept that is meaningful for students in our age between 18 and 24 basically, and then therefore we had to create a perfect concept, or like a very structured concept, including budgeting aspects as well.
Yeah.
And right now in our next production phase, we now have to produce this concept.
Yeah, and the classes are pretty mixed up. I mean, in our case, we have
Definitely.
one group which is doing like a proper online magazine. So I think they're gonna have 2 articles each issue,
Go.
and each issue will have a different topic, so a different main topic.
Is that like the politics thing? Is that like a politics?
No, it's more about fashion and lifestyle.
Okay, so that
It's
because
called
we have one.
individual. Yeah, individual.
Okay. Yeah, okay, I was talking about a different one.
And then we have this group which is doing like a travel blog. So they are writing blogs about different countries, different destinations, but also conducting interviews with people from that specific country.
Okay.
So last week they presented us their idea of Greece and
Okay.
how they set up the layout and everything, and they found 2 or 3 students from Greece and made an interview with them, and are also probably gonna show some pictures of the people they interviewed, like their vacation pictures
Mhm.
or pictures from home. So what I want to say is that it's really difficult in this situation to make like a proper session for everybody in the class, since
Yeah.
each group is focusing on different things. One group is focusing more on the text writing, whereas another group is focusing more on the visual production.
Yeah.
So it's really good that the coaches are meeting up twice a week individually with the group. Once online, like you said. For us, it's always the same day. It's the day when the online atelier is scheduled, and then we have the offline atelier, of course. And we just make a short introduction, and the groups present each other their products or what they worked during the past week, and we give each other feedback, which is also really nice. So we have this opportunity to just receive feedback from the coach and from students, from a large group of students, instead
Which
of
are the
just
target group
3
as
or
well,
4.
so
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, so
Just to get the feedback on point, and then we go into our groups, and our coach just joins the group, maybe gives some feedback more in detail, and just checks up on us basically.
It's exactly the same way with in our offline atelier. We just started like presenting our stuff, since some of our groups didn't really start with anything yet, which is a bit which I'm a bit skeptical about, since we already we're already 4 weeks, no, almost 4 weeks in. Yeah, I think
this is
almost 4 weeks in.
so.
I think the 3rd week. We are currently in the 3rd week, and I think next week is going to be the 4th week.
No, I think this was the 4th week.
This is already.
This was the 4th week. I mean,
Well, mostly I don't. So maybe I forgot to count in the 1st week with, to be honest, because
Yeah,
the 1st
it-
week is always a bit,
might
It's like forming the groups and stuff, but like you actually start working on the stuff
in
on
the
the second week. So
yeah,
that's
exactly.
why I might have been miscalculating that. But
Yeah, sometimes it gets confusing, especially like right now in about 2 weeks, we're gonna have our winter break,
yeah.
which is gonna be 2 weeks long. But the counting of the weeks,
Yeah, and then the thing goes
it
on.
depends on between academic weeks and
Yeah,
just
it's a bit,
normal
yeah.
weeks. So it might be the third week in the month, but it's just the second week in the module, for example.
That's just something you have to adjust.
Yeah.
But that comes. It should come naturally, basically.
Yeah, I mean, you get
But also
used to it
yeah. But also
after a
some-
year we
yeah.
got used to it. And which week is it? And is it 6 or 7 or what was it before the
Yeah.
holiday? And does the holiday count or not? But those are just little things. But you said it before. Compared to the last module, they really worked on their organization, on their education plan. Also, in my opinion. Because last module during concepting, I kind of felt left alone.
100%.
Not only from my atelier coach, but just like from all the coaches, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, they gave us the option to contact them for questions and for feedback, and they also offered Q&A sessions. But when the main question is, what am I actually doing?
Yeah, that's
Then all these options
Yeah.
are not really helpful. And for this module, maybe it's also our coach, but you said you're also meeting up twice a week. So they, in my opinion, they show that they're really trying to help us and
Yeah.
maybe to, make up things for the past, probably, hopefully. We'll
Yeah,
see.
it's just I would say it's just the thing that you created a concept and now you're actually making this concept through reality. So maybe there's just like, yeah, the first step was just like something which is okay, but actually now the thing actually starts. Now we can actually get something from this.
Yeah.
So they might have well just said, okay, we don't have to give them a lot of stuff there. We just have to give them an intention, see what ideas they have, and just say,
Yeah.
okay, use this idea. But then you have to completely restructure it in some cases, maybe. So it's
Yeah.
a bit, it's yeah. So I would say overall, just because we have production now and we have to actually create something, it's just way easier to put that into correlation with group work and individual work as well. And I think it's just way easier also to guide a student to this, because you can help him with, okay, you have a podcast, so now you have to find contestants, you have to get mics and stuff, so
Yeah.
they can really help you with that. And with the concept idea, which is created on your own, like with your own creativity,
Your own
you
creativity and
can't really ask your coach to like help me
come up with an
come
idea.
up with
yeah.
with an idea, basically. That doesn't really work. And again, if you have an idea and you want to create a concept to it, they have to get it first, so they can't really help you with something that you are creating in your head. They can only tell you, okay, this is realistic or not.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think also that the last module didn't really work out. I also have to redo my individual work. Sure about you, but but thankfully I passed the group work. But again, comparing the old module, the first module to the second, definitely I would say the second is definitely more on the positive side.
Yeah,
I would say in all aspects. It is not just like some things that are better. I think it's like
It's
overall everything is
overall
better.
just better. But also have the feeling that the production modules are just
tiny bit easier.
tiny
yeah.
bit easier. It's
In
in
a
some
way-
ways
in a- in a
easier,
way,
in
yeah.
other ways it's harder.
Easier to manage.
because-
Let's say easier to manage. I
It-
would say easier to manage.
Easier to manage, but it brings also a lot of work with it. So
Yeah.
writing some pages about theory, you just sit down at your desk, open your computer, get some books, do some research, write your text. But in media production, you have to, like you said it, you have to depending on your idea, to organize contestants or guests or camera equipment, maybe even a studio, lights, and you have to shoot everything, you have to edit it, so there's a lot of more work connected to it, which maybe also makes it harder. But yeah, it's just, for me, it's just more fun.
Definitely.
Which
for me,
makes
same.
Which, even if it's more work, makes the work easier, because it's just fun to try out things, to actually produce something and work on things. And especially this module gives us more time to work on the product, right? Because during the first production module in year one, we had like this one group project,
Yeah, that
a
was
short movie, which we did throughout the whole module.
Yeah.
And that was it. It was just one shot,
Yeah.
basically, in terms of, you just produce this one product, you get feedback for it, and then you dive into the next module.
Yeah.
And my group, we can make use of the fact that we can pretty much come up with a new product each week. So
Yeah.
we can just present our new product, get the feedback, and start implementing it directly into the next product. So that gives us
It's like an ongoing. It's like
it's an ongoing
thing, yeah.
process. It allows us to develop on this topic to actually gain some skills, because if I produce something and I get feedback on it, but then I'm not dealing with this topic for half a year or a year, then
Yeah.
thanks for the feedback, but either I have to go back to the feedback again and read it and then I can implement it, but it's too far away.
I would say just like overall the production thing, I think is also important thing to address for me at least, is that you actually have like a result in the end. So you don't write something and you say like, okay, I'll learn this by writing and reflecting on this.
Yeah.
But like if you create a podcast or you create a travel blog or a dating show, whatever, in the end, if you produce something with your group, you actually have an end result. You actually have something you created, which you can be happy with or not happy with,
Yep.
but like in the end you can say like, I did this and this is what I can show you, instead of like, here, this is the stuff that I wrote down basically. That's always like a big thing for me as well. If you just have something which you can not have in your hand, but you can watch a video on your phone or whatever. So I think this is just like it's just worth more for me, at least, like as like a batch of papers and saying like, yeah, I know how to do this now.
Yeah,
basically.
it's practical work, exactly.
Yeah.
It's not just remembering stuff, but also doing stuff.
It
and
feels like it's the
producing.
real deal also. I
Yeah.
can't really explain how I think that this is the real deal, and not like that writing papers and stuff is not a real deal, because it is also
Yeah.
very important. But again, it's just like a different kind of feeling, I would say.
Yeah, and,
It's like
and
different kind of motivation as
thi-
well.
this kind of already feels like an internship, actually, if you think about it.
Yeah.
We could say that, we're doing this internship for a media company and producing some stuff for them. I mean, of course, it's not a proper internship, but it gives you a feeling, like you said, for it, how to organize yourself, how to organize the group, and all the things you have to think about, the research that needs to be done. So it's a good preparation, I think, especially for the third year and then afterwards for the actual internship.
Yeah, kind of. You could say it feels like an internship, but I think it also really depends on how structured your group is.
Yeah.
I think some of them take it a bit lightly, and again, we are students, so we're not gonna perform on an AA plus level basically.
Yeah.
So and again, also we also do not have everything to actually perform on this kind of level. So for instance, a lot of people, for instance, I'm also my concept also a podcast, and in our university we don't really have like a place which we can call like a podcast booth or whatever. So we have
Yeah.
to set up in like rooms. We have to figure out how so that there's no echo and stuff. So it's a bit still very on the starting side, I would say. Maybe in future creative business students probably have more opportunities, just because the university learns from our courses and from our ideas, I
Yeah.
would say. So that's like an overall, just like the whole bachelor itself, since it is still very new, still all of that's still like some sort of learning process.
Well, yeah, we do have some studios, but like you say, they are not really properly made for audio productions, for podcasts or such things. They are more focused on video productions, which
Yeah.
was, I think, a huge thing when the course was still media and entertainment management.
Yeah.
And I think now they changed it to creative business. They are taking more branches of the media industry into account, also like audio products. There is a small studio above the last studio, basically.
For radio, right? I think they
It's
made
for,
it
I think they made like this Stanton radio up
Yeah,
there, and there is the possibility to also record stuff, but it's not really soundproof room, so it's
Yeah.
still not really professional, and compared to the TV production studios,
Yeah,
which
of
are
course.
really professional
Yeah.
with the cameras and the
Definitely, yeah.
prompters and everything. But like you said, I think they are gonna improve on this as well, and just get better equipment, maybe get a better location, or improve also the location, make it soundproof, so near to professional audio productions are also possible.
Yeah.
But we maybe are gonna see that in future.
Definitely. I think that the university also wants to improve as well.
Yeah.
I think they definitely have the space to do it, because since the university is pretty big, I think they still have a lot of room to grow, of course.
Yeah.
But again, we are still enjoying it.
Definitely enjoying
Yeah.
it, yeah. Well, I think that was it for today.
Yeah, talked about internships, we talked about the exchange minors, and we also focused a bit on online education and also that including our module that we are undertaking.
Yep.
Yeah.
So thank you for listening and joining us for another episode of Let's Talk Live, and we hope you will join for the next episode too.
Yeah, see you guys.